Hello, everybody, and welcome to Graded Point Live. You just had to do that, didn't you?
I love it too much.
We're gonna get sued by Warner Brothers, aren't we?
I think it's been around long enough to be in the public domain.
Yeah, it might really be.
It had to be like 75 years or something. I don't think it's been that long yet.
I think they. Also, they don't sell the track anymore.
Yeah, if Mickey Mouse is in his public domain, then that's not. Let's put it that way. That's the way I look at it. So yeah,
We'll just see what happens.
Uh,
All we gotta do is just play Chains of Love at the end, and it'll sort itself out.
Shit, I'm just gonna do one more for the road then.
Why do we keep you here?
That is definitely a topic of discussion for
the
night. What would you say it is you do here, really?
I have people skills, goddammit.
Yeah. I make the noises and bring the boobs and
Bring the bobs. Well, the bobs want to know, is what you're doing good for the company? See, it's here on this banner. Efficiency.
I demand more whammon plumbers. I want to hear them talk about ball and cock and 2-inch nipples before I sue them for sexual harassment.
I'm the diversity hire. Yeah, I'm the diversity hire. There you
go. One thing is ball cock. It's one word, not ball and cock.
Actually, as a skit, I would love to see a bunch of like really attractive women dressed as construction workers, seemingly doing construction work, as a handsome, well-dressed dude walks by, and hear him talking about all the terrible things they do to him.
Echo. What are you talking about, Echo? There ain't no echo. Y'all are.
Who's echoing?
Yeah, who's echoing? I'm not echoing. I mean, there's nothing playing in the background or anything. You're getting an echo. Maybe you need to fix your shit.
The echo was in your mind.
Fix your shit.
Yeah. It's all your fault.
Yeah. The echo is in your mind.
It might be echoing through somebody else. It might be echoing through somebody else's stuff. That might be the echo. It might be because sometimes Xavier is kind of popping when I'm speaking. That might be very slight, but it's whatever. Who cares? We're not professional enough to care. But yeah, no. Damn it. No, but it's funny. They mentioned the thing about the nipples. When I'm doing it, even to this day, I am 40 damn years old. To this day, I laugh every time my dad will say 1.5-inch chrome nipples.
Oh my god! Hey, Raptro, nice job.
Ooh,
He found a video of the exact thing I just described.
Nice.
Yeah, I see that. That's quick. That's on the ball right there. You know.
Hey, Raptro is a fitting name, man. He's a fast.
Yeah.
That mofo is Johnny on the spot.
Yep. Someone has chrome piercings. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I try to think of some other words that are really funny in plumbing.
Moist.
I've never known my dad to say moist.
What?
What? Not in relation to plumbing.
Really?
No. Wet.
Objection!
Wet, not moist. Wet. He will say wet. He will not say moist.
I think there's a difference.
Well, there might be a difference for you. No. So you got to understand. There might be a difference for you, but for a plumber is if it's Feeling wet, that it's wet, that means there's a leak and it needs to be fixed. And it doesn't matter if you want to call it moist or whatever. Damp.
Moist,
that's another word.
Yeah, moist means there was a leak at some point.
Yeah. Damp. That's another word you could use.
Oh, see, you just go, this isn't supposed to be moist.
No one says that.
I fucking say that.
Of course you do. I'm trying. Like I said, I can't think. Of course, ball cock is funny.
No, it's not.
It is actually. So ball cock. Yeah. So your two variations are chrome nipples and brass nipples. I don't know if they're PVC nipples. There might be. Yeah, there's PVC. There's PEX nipples.
What about bronzed?
You don't bronze. You don't use bronze anything in plumbing. That would be stupid.
What about brushed nickel nipples?
That would be that'd be nickel plated. We don't do that neither.
You don't do that?
No, the metals that most plumbers use is going to be brass, chrome, or copper.
Because y'all are mostly like messing with the pipes, not the fixtures.
Right. Yeah.
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 I know about the fixtures.
Yeah. Brushed nickel and stuff like that. That's like your like you said, your fixtures, like your kitchen sink or the tub and shower valve, things like that. That's where you get
that feeling when no brushed nickel nipples.
I'm not gonna lie. When I said bronzed, I didn't know we were talking about pipes.
Your entrance says gold-plated nipples. I mean, maybe in some houses. I don't know.
But why?
Well, when you outgrow your baby nipples and you get your big nipples, you want to bronze those, so you put them on display so they keep.
Optimus grew up with the lead pipes. I will have to dispute that, sir. I never lived in a house that had lead pipes. I can say that with confidence because I know my father would never install something with lead because when he had to install stuff with lead, he hated every minute of it. So
nice.
I mean, you know why besides the health risk, you know why doing lead pipe sucks, or iron pipe as they called it. Because you got to seal it with molten lead.
Goddamn. Yep.
Yeah. Think about having to deal with that. I asked him. I said, "Well, how'd you do it?" He said, "Well, you had to take a ladle and pour that shit on there." I'm like, "No."
Whoa.
But to be fair, that's how people are getting rid of anthills for funsies.
That's true.
That's true.
You know why plumbers are called
That's
plumbers?
always a trip.
You know why plumbers are called plumbers? I'm gonna see if I've heard this one before. That'll be interesting. Lead, if you remember, is a softer metal. I mean, yeah, that's why they used it for sealing. They didn't use it for piping. It was iron. Iron was iron. Yeah, cast iron was used for pipes, right? But it was sealed with lead. I know. I picked up some things. I think the best thing was the best kind of piping to use. I don't know why we're talking about pipes, but the best. I say the best, and I'm using that facetiously because it's funny. There's two kinds. There's the terracotta pipes, which is basically, it's like putting a plant, it's like, those plant things you buy at the store. That, imagine that, but, your sewer line, where you could just crack it with a hammer at any time you wanted to. But the best.
If you would like to know more about pipes and pipe-related accessories, check out Project Mouthwash and their Fate Unlimited Blade Works Abridged. Lots of pipes.
Woo.
But the best kind of pipe is Orangeburg. It's literally made out of tar paper. And I say best, and once again being facetious, because you can mash that shit flatter than a pancake in a matter of months. Didn't last long as a replacement. They finally went to PVC, which is something. Oh, here's some plastic that won't kill anybody. And also
right, that's always nice.
And also won't break open if you hit it with a hammer. And added benefit, it won't collapse if you put dirt on it.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, Macho Man came up with some great ideas that year. we're not going to say like Macho Man Randy Savage was the founder of plumbing. the patron saint.
I'd also like to remind you, he saved us from the rapture. Honor his sacrifice.
Yes. If Final Fight taught me anything, is that the only thing a lead pipe is good for is beating thugs over the head. This is exactly right. This is true.
Right.
And also pile driving. No, always be pile driving. I think we can all agree on that. You're gonna wear that out, and it's not gonna be funny anymore.
I like it too much.
But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out, Project Mouthwash and their abridged series, they're one of those like really high quality abridges where it's like this is almost as good, if not better, than the original product.
Nice.
And they worked really, really hard on it, and it shows. They did the Digimon Adventure Try movies, and halfway through like the third or fourth one, I actually forgot there was an original version I could go watch. It was that good.
Before we go on tonight, I want to point out this poll. Oh my God, somebody actually voted for the bear.
He didn't check his bear privilege.
There's some animal out there that voted for the fucking bear. I can't believe this. Yeah,
it was a matter of time.
If you got to get a chance, go to Xavier's Twitter account at @the_Harkonnen. If you find a bear sleeping in an enclosure, minding his own business, just being a bear, and you aggressively poke it in the face with a stick, and it mauls the shit out of you, and it bites off your arm, whose fault is that? Vote and retweet. And I see a lot of people are voting, but they're not retweeting. 96% say it's the human's fault, and apparently 4% say it's the bear's fault. Those people are wrong, clearly. But yeah.
You know what? Might have been a bear.
Why would the bear blame itself?
Oh, right.
Maybe it's one of those self-hating bears.
Yeah.
He could have checked his bear privilege.
Right. It's the bear guilt thing.
Not everyone gets an enclosure to live in.
I was told
some people have to find caves.
I was told to refresh the poll, so I will do that. Let's see what happens here.
What? Somebody else freaking...
The bears are now a lot higher.
No, it's still 4.
Oh, you were the first? I was the second to vote then, because when I voted, it said there was 2.
Yeah, there's 47 votes now, but as you can see, not a lot of people are retweeting when they're voting. Nobody can follow simple instructions.
I shared this in Discord because I was mentioned that it's going to be related to the Ooblets controversy that's kind of going on. Mm-hmm. We can also tie that to so many other things that are going on right now. Yeah, we're going to do that now.
You mean like the director of Thor, Love and Thunder, saying things like, "I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby."
Mm-hmm.
Thor. How do you say his name?
Waititi. Taika Waititi.
I'm gonna call him Tom Smith because I can't be bothered to say that.
I'm like T Watts.
T Watts.
Yeah, that way you can abbreviate him as Twat.
But if I say that, it reminds me of Greg Doucette, T. Greg Doucette. And I talked about him enough last night. The famous internet lawyer. Okay, let's read this. Marvel's Thor, Lull and Chunder director Tom Smith took to Twitter to troll fans who don't like what they're seeing and hearing concerning the upcoming Thor film. I thought that was pretty universal.
Uh-oh, retard alert!
Smith trolled a number of fans who expressed their concerns regarding the film. In one reply, he told a fan, "I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby."
Oh, man. Too edgy 5 me.
And this person says,
No.
It is due to Marvel work that this mess is possible. Your writing ruined Thor, his mythos and character. So, no, I do not want to see this film if we are truly getting a Jane Foster Thor, angry face, angry face, angry face. And it's a, little kitty cat, do not want And then that's when he said, "I'll ruin your mythos, baby."
Now,
That sounds like a really bad like video game line. You
Yeah.
know? I'll ruin your mythos, baby. But go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
I kind of feel like that's not what he really wanted to say. I feel like he just wanted to say, just admit you hate women.
Something of that grade, you know.
Yeah. But these people need to learn. These books that they're adapting did not sell very well, and most people did not like them.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand is why they're investing in this.
That means that they're kind of making a movie from a position of weakness. This wasn't a good story. They're going to try and make a movie out of it. So let's say this movie has to make $300 million to break even. Something that it more than likely will not do because China, they don't like female leads.
Okay, so Raptro says it's pronounced Taika YTT.
Yeah, I figured that.
Taika YTT. Still,
anyway,
Tom
Well,
Smith.
let's just pick one of those.
Tom Smith.
His last name or his first.
Tom Smith.
Bob Johnson.
Tom Smith is his name.
All right. So anyway, China doesn't really much care for female leads, but so most of their money is going to come from the West. Now, had they just not said anything and just let the movie come out, you get a lot of people that don't want to see it, but may still go see it either out of morbid curiosity to see the train wreck, or like someone you know wants to go and you got nothing better to do, so you just go with them.
Sounds like
maybe you're dating somebody.
Sounds like Piper going to the movies. Like
my girlfriend wanted to go see it.
Hey, we're gonna
and
go see this shitty movie. You want to go? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, okay.
Girl wanted to see this movie, and I wanted to be with her, so shit out of luck.
Okay, I got to repeat what Seth here in the chat said. Culture wars have had an effect. I was playing Sonic Spinball when it said "Cluck Alert." I didn't see the L.
So much better.
I can't believe that Sonic. I can't believe that Sonic Spinball fucking murdered Ron Toya like that.
Tyrone.
What is that thing that Shamil likes to say? I can't believe so and so is fucking dead.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, assume you need to make $300 million to make this movie break even. You were already set up for failure because it's a bad movie. Now all the people that might have gone to see your movie just out of boredom or dragged along with a friend, they're not going to see it on principle.
Yeah, now they're going to refuse.
That's the difference between your movie failing by only making $275 million and your movie failing because it made $200 million or less.
I honestly, I'm starting to. I think I've dubbed the. I got a new name for Phase 4. You know how in Japan, they had the that one year where they had that one decade where they had the 10-year recession and they called it the lost decade.
Yeah.
This is going to be the lost phase. Because they're going to lose this is going to be the first phase where they start losing money.
Dark phase.
Yeah, the dark phase. Yeah, that's a good one.
Nice.
But yeah, they say, like Jameson said, they can buy their own tickets like with Captain Marvel. Yeah, but you can only do that so much.
Will you stop fucking barfing for 5 fucking seconds? God damn.
Yeah, bully your kids some more.
No, this cat is disgusting.
It's a cat. They throw up. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's not my cat, and it's just he's so fucking disgusting.
So it's not your cat, so a strange cat just comes into your house and throws up?
No,
Standing on the edge of the crater.
Pretty much.
That actually works. That actually works for this movie right here and this fucking situation.
Shang-Chi is going to make $1 billion and you can't stop it, white pigs. Well, I mean, that's true.
Well, if it does, best of luck to it. If it doesn't, then
I have
very unfortunate.
I have a counter to that. What the fuck is Shang-Chi?
Yeah. Can you even spell Shang-Chi?
Hey guys, how are we on this happy Tuesday? I mean, yeah.
I'm fine to dine.
Weird.
What, you're gonna play that twice in a row, really? You can do better than that.
No, I figured out that I can cut them off, so I was just
okay.
doing it partially for effect.
Well,
Gotcha.
if you're gonna do taps, you've got to do the first couple bars so they know it's taps.
Yeah.
So, in response to another fan who expressed his concerns regarding Smith's Thor Ragnarok and too much comedy, Smith responded, "Sorry in advance, sucker."
Oh my.
Is this
God,
guy think he Booker T?
Man. Man.
I think this guy thinks he's a new Roundhead. Oh, I'm rooting this franchise and Disney's paying for it.
I need a sound that like is like this ain't it, Chief, only in sound. The feeling.
Isn't there a sound that does that? This ain't it, Chief? There's got to be. Okay. There you go. Here's another one. Smith would respond to another fan who stated, "There isn't a single announcement regarding this movie that I've liked." And Smith wrote, There. You'll get over it when you realize you don't know what you want until I give it to you."
Oh, my God.
Did he just sexually
trying
assault
to
that
rape
guy?
this dude?
Yeah, did he just?
Right?
Yeah, did he just?
Sorry, dude. You won't know it's rape until I'm finished.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably accurate.
That's very not a good look.
And then here's this one. Smith would also try to correct a fan who described Jane Foster's version of Thor as female Thor. And this is a woman, by the way, who said this. Completely normal to makes sense that when Thor is a man, he is Thor, and when Thor is a woman, she is female Thor. And he responded, "Correction, she's called Mighty Thor."
Are you mansplaining to her?
Wow.
Yeah.
Because even by the fucking definition, he is talking down to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very condescending tone.
Uh-oh.
Thank you.
Even the women aren't safe.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly
enough, the Mighty Thor is the title Thor went by when Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, and Larry Lieber's creation in Marvel Comics. The title can be seen on the cover of Journey into Mystery 104 back in 1964. Yeah, there it says, Journey into Mystery with the Mighty Thor.
Right. Is this guy gay or a furry or some other form of protected class? Because he's getting away with a lot that most people wouldn't, even for a blue check.
In fact, Journey
is
into Mystery will be retitled into The Mighty Thor, beginning with issue 126. If you want to go back even further, Thor's first appearance of Journey into Mystery 83, Thor is introduced as the Mighty Thor right on the cover. Yeah, right there. Introducing the Mighty Thor. Yep.
Oh, snap.
It's not until Jason Aaron and Russell Duderman's Thor number 8, published in May 2015, that Jay Foster takes the title of the Mighty Thor.
I think that's Dowderman.
Who cares? I am Dr. Jane Foster, and I will not stop being the Mighty Thor, even though it's killing me. It didn't do a very good job. Thor, Lowell, and Chunder. Thor, Lowell, and Chunder will see Natalie Portman return as the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Jane Foster after a brief cameo in Avengers Endgame, as revealed at San Diego Comic-Con. Portman's Jane Foster will take up Mjolnir and become the Mighty Thor.
So is she gonna get ripped for this? Because all of the Asgardian women we saw that were fighting with Thor alongside him, they were all like jacked.
Yeah.
Like I kind of believe that they could fight alongside him.
Yeah.
And Natalie Portman, I kind of look like if that dude wasn't holding up the hammer,
right?
It would have slammed her into the ground.
Not only will
it weighs like 15 pounds. It's too much.
Not only will Portman return as Jane Foster to become the Mighty Thor, But Marvel's studio boss Kevin Feige also confirmed that the film would confirm that Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie is an LGBTQ character. I like how they've taken a character that literally nobody gave a shit about, and is trying to make it into something that we should give a shit about, but I still don't give a shit about.
Tokenize me, Captain.
Pretty much.
Like, he didn't even say, like, she's gonna be an LGBTQ character. Okay, which one? Representation, you see, is very important, and diversity. And can we please get the fuck out of this conversation, please? Who wants to go breakdance on the roof?
Feige stated, first of all, as new king of Asgard, she'll need to find her queen. I mean, did they call her king of Asgard in the movie?
I think they did, but even then, like, she doesn't have to. She can just sit there and be, Asgardians basically live for fucking ever until they don't.
Yeah. This is gonna be really bad.
Thor himself was, I think, several hundred years old officially.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking the war against the Dark Elves that Odin fought in was 2,000 years earlier.
Mm-hmm. This is once again an example of let's force something down people's throats that nobody liked and nobody wanted, but we're gonna do it the fuck anyway because why the fuck not? She's already been ragged down because she stopped doing MCU films for moral purposes, but she's back because she got lead part. What were the moral purposes? I want to know that. That's an interesting.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I need to know these moral purposes.
Oh my goodness.
Let's check the poll while we get an answer to that. See how the battle's going here. It's a 49, still 94-6 for the bear. I mean, for the human. Excuse me.
Let's see.
Did this happen at the Vancouver Zoo?
I just pulled in a random example out of my ass. I'm sure it's probably happened somewhere.
Oh yeah,
It's happened a couple of times.
yeah. Mike's talking about it happened with a 2-year-old. No, I don't think you were making.
No,
that.
it happened once. The one I remember most recently was it was a polar bear enclosure, and a lady decided that she was gonna freaking try squeezing in there with her camera, and got mauled.
She left the MCU because her friend was fired from doing Marvel stuffs. Oh, but as soon as she gets a lead part, it's like, well, I can
Fuck friends. Wow.
Yeah, I can imagine I'm standing up for my friend, and I'm not going to do another Marvel movie ever again. We're going to give you this lead part. Like I was saying, I would love to do this Marvel movie.
Now,
Right?
Now, in 2 years, her friend she fucked over is going to be laughing her ass off when she finds out this is the worst movie of Natalie Portman's career. And one of the more expensive movies of her career.
Yep. Okay. Let's talk about some more dire news. Report: DC Comics might not have a future as part of Warner Media under AT&T.
So long, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
DC's future is in the hands of new Warner Media regime. Looks like it could be in jeopardy. That's what happens when you don't make money. I know it's shocking, but sometimes when you don't make money, people don't keep you around. It's just the way business works. Rumblings of this have been felt throughout the comic book industry for the past several months, and on closer inspection, the dominoes are falling and starting to add up. A new piece in Forbes spells out the circumstances and there are a few takeaways. For start, DC got a back seat, a literal small corner at San Diego Comic-Con this year. In years past, they had normally been out in the open presenting plans and upcoming offerings. More telling than that, DC didn't partake of San Diego Comic-Con independently. They were there as part of the greater Warner Media tent, one of the many cogs in the machine. A prolific content creator, one of the biggest in the media, they were once known as DC Entertainment. That is no longer the case. Disheartening as it is to the publisher's devotees and creative minds, this out-of-nowhere turn of events isn't without cause. Ever since AT&T acquired Warner Media, the telecom giant has not given a great deal of emphasis on DC's IPs. When profiling AT&T's CEO John Stanker, I like Stanker better. John Stanky. DC was never mentioned, and they seem to view the company as just another lifestyle brand among many they oversee. Stanky did discuss Greg Berlanti, the producer behind CW's Arrowverse. He goes, I do not lose sleep at night worrying about our creative directors around here. Our challenge will be getting that great creative strength and marrying it with the great technology and the ability to manage customer life cycles. If we can get that three-legged stool working, then we're unstoppable.
He seems like one of those executives from the 1980s where diversify your portfolio means you're an executive at a toy company, so you also own a shit ton of stock. A shit ton of stocks in steel, or a shit ton of stocks in chemicals, and a bunch of other shit that has nothing else to do with anything.
Yeah,
and then you bring that into your company, so now your company holds these shares.
Mm-hmm.
True story. That's this thing that happened. It damn near killed Hasbro.
Yeah.
Yep. Due in no small part to debt concerns.
Not Hasbro, Mattel. I'm sorry, Mattel.
Oh, Mattel. Yeah. Due in no small part to debt concerns, AT&T have used it as operations in terms of assets. The company incurred a new $85.4 billion mound of debt in acquiring Warner Media, bringing their total debt to $164 billion. In order to find a way out in order to find a way out of that debt, they are looking to monetize Warner Media as a whole entity, bigger than its constituent parts, to make that money back.
I get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the
They bought
explanation.
this company and all this fucking debt. We're gonna make so much money.
Right?
Oh, it's like, some of these properties might have made you some real money if you had stepped in before fucking DC fucked up the extended DC universe or their cinematic universe, because that thing failed to launch, and then it failed to launch again, and then it failed to launch again because the first 3 movies are all attempts to make this thing.
Yep.
What's really funny is the side movies made more money than was supposed to be their main movie. In that situation.
Well, the reason for that is because all they had to worry about was being a good movie. They didn't have to worry about also being a backdoor pilot for this, but also introducing this so that we could do this other thing later, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, and I'll say it until now to the end of time, also having the wrong lineup of Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Batman v Superman was literally just the world's finest, fucking just an adaptation of the fucking animated series version of it, where Batman comes to Metropolis. He scraps with Superman a little bit, but then they find out something bigger's going on. They work together and find out both of them are not so bad.
Yeah.
And that would have been fine.
And during that, finding out each other's secret identities, because
right.
Yeah.
But in a situation where we're also introducing Wonder Woman, but we're also doing the death of Superman.
And we're also trying to do Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, it's like
it's like they try to like I said, they try to do Death of Superman, Dark Knight Returns, and debuting Wonder Woman in the span of an hour and a half.
But people love these books. People love these stories. Yeah, but not at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, though.
And
If they literally took the DCU adaptation of DCAU, excuse me, and the adaptation of World's Finest, where it was just like literally Batman comes on Superman's turf. Superman don't like that shit. Confronts Batman. Batman shows him some kryptonite, makes him sick, and he's like, "Yeah, I said so. Even you got a weakness, huh?" And then and then just puts it away because he doesn't really want to hurt him. He just wants to prove a point.
I just want to let you know as a friendly message. The Joker has about 20 more pounds of this.
Exactly.
Loose in Metropolis.
Yeah. And then you could have had Joker and not whatever that Joker was in Suicide Squad. That's ridiculous. That was dumb.
Yeah.
And you know, and then you could have had a Lex Luthor played by somebody who looks like Lex Luthor and not his child.
Right?
He reminds me of Lex Luthor's fucking nephew from Superman 4.
I was gonna
Hey,
say that.
Uncle Lex.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Holy shit.
Whoa, Superman, you totally fell into a trap.
Yeah!
Because just for you guys, have you always seen Lex as like maybe not super older, but like, you know, maybe a few years older than Clark and
Yeah.
stuff like. And so I've always saw Lex as a guy who had a reputation already, one way or the other, right? And
Yeah.
I always thought Lex works better as a businessman than trying to be supervillain, you know, kind of thing, or still a supervillain, but you know what I mean. Start him off as the businessman, and he gets away with shit because of legal reasons, not because, and because he's smart, you know.
The definitive version of Lex Luthor for me is again to go back to the whole DC animated universe when he's fighting the Question, and the Question is talking about how he's all this shit about him running for president is just to fuck with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, and he says to the Question, why the fuck would I want to be president? Do you understand how much power I would have to give up just to be president?
Right. That's some good shit.
That's peak Luthor.
And remember, this was, and then the finale of Justice League, you know, Unlimited.
Oh yeah.
That was so good because this was after years of going through like doing power armor and becoming quote God and Nano Machine Son and all this other shit. He confronts Darkseid in his regular old business suit and he says, sorry I'm late, I had to grab my power suit. After all that shit that he did for the last like 4 or 5 years in the continuity.
Yep.
That was just, man. Okay, let's check the chat real quick. Like a Funimation. Oh, one of Natalie Portman's worst movies. Someone forgot Your Highness. Forgot about Your Highness. What about Natalie Portman? Annihilation. That was pretty bad. Mistakes I made a few. Annihilation isn't that bad. Now they're talking about Annihilation. Yeah, exactly. Here you go. So all that, and instead of like all the cool shit we just came up with, we got Martha.
How do you know that name?
I was like, why would anybody call their mother Martha? That was what bugged me. Why did Superman call his mom Martha? Anybody ever explain that? And
I sometimes call my mom by her first name because it pisses her off, and I think it's funny.
Yeah. Well, that's different. I don't think Clark would, feel that way about his mother.
That's one of those things where you have a very, one of those control freak moms, and because you're their kid, you call them mom. Anything you say does not matter to them. They don't listen one ear out the other. You call them by their first name, and all of a sudden they start paying attention.
Oh, and I like this. Somebody, Raptro says, also stop pushing Cyborg as a main 7 Justice League member.
Yeah.
Cyborg doesn't even want to be a Justice League member most of that movie. He's like, I just want to be left alone. Fucking go away.
Yeah. That's why I say, why are they so scared of Martian Manhunter?
They did pretty well in the cute little Supergirl series before it stopped being so cute.
What, they had Manhunter? They had
kind
Martian
of.
Manhunter in that? I didn't know that.
Yeah. A little bit.
The
story they gave him at least for him being there was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know why. It's because you'd have to design 3 versions of him. You've got the Martian Manhunter from Mars, the Martian Manhunter in his superhero form, and then him disguised as a guy, and then you have to cast him.
Well, I mean, that's not a big deal. Just find somebody and cast them and then do the rest. I mean, it's not... Look, you're already spending how much, hundreds of thousands of dollars on fucking FX. You were going to do that. You're already doing that with Cyborg and all that shit. Just moving to Manhunter.
Honestly,
You
they should have brought in Jon Stewart.
Yeah, where's the Green Lantern? Like, am I the one in Justice League? Am I the one that like noticed very clearly when they were talking about the first time they fought Homeboy?
Yeah, there were lanterns there.
Yeah, they literally said like, we had allies. It was Atlanteans, Amazons, and then said humans, and then it said even those from beyond the stars, and it showed the lanterns.
So where's the fuck the lantern for this sector of space?
Yeah,
Whether it's the fucking original guy, I can't remember his name for the life of me.
Hal Jordan.
You could no the guy
Abin
before
Sur.
him.
Yeah, Abin Sur.
Abin Sur?
Why couldn't you use? See, there you go. Back there, you wanted a backdoor pilot. I got you.
Bam. Check this out. Abin Sur comes down to investigate. Finds out, some fucking new gods are doing shit. So he's, rushing to go tell the rest of the Corps because they may need help on this. He gets fucking shot down. In the process, bam, Hal Jordan. Congratulations.
Yep.
Check out the cash.
Mm-hmm. And then they just said, like, you could have this whole, if you wanted to, like, Hal, because obviously they're going to have to do, recast Hal, because at this point we know Ryan Reynolds is not going to be Hal.
Yeah.
But whoever they get, like, I could just play up the whole thing as, like, he's got, remember, let's classify this. The Green Lantern ring is described as the most powerful weapon in the universe. Now you got some guy who barely knows how to use it, and the world's coming to an end.
Uh-oh.
He's like,
looks like you're fucked.
Adversity breeds excellence.
So I can see like Batman the whole time saying like, look, I don't know if you know how to use that ring, but you better make it fast.
Yeah, a race car.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I choked. There you go. There's your awkward guy. Instead of that really awkward weirdo they got for Flash, if it's like Hal Jordan's first week with the ring,
yeah,
that would have been fine. That would have been acceptable.
Mm-hmm. But then, don't even get me started on the casting for Flash. Fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
They found literally the most annoying person in the world to play the Flash. And it doesn't make any sense because and it's supposed to be Barry Allen, right? Barry Allen is supposed to be somebody in their like late 20s, early 30s, right? Who has been a scientific, a police scientist for X amount of years. I did not get that vibe from this person.
It should have been Wally West, but at the same time, I think that was at a point when Wally West wasn't in the comics.
Yeah.
Actively. And I think there was like a weird bit of like, is Wally West black or white right now? And not sure which way they want to go with it.
Yeah.
They just wanted to avoid that mess. But even still, it doesn't even have to be Hal Jordan. You could bring in a different Lantern. Just go, it'd be Jon Stewart or Kyle Rayner.
Green Lantern is going to be in the GLC movie. I don't care what movie they're going to be in. You understand? This is we're redoing it right now. We're not getting more.
I think Ryan Reynolds was a bad choice for Hal Jordan, but
he would have been great if they had made it Kyle Rayner.
Yeah, I was just thinking that
because they had like him doing like all these like cool shit like doing like you said the race car and all that dumb shit. That's something that Kyle would do because in the comics, I always said Kyle is an artist, and so his stuff is going to be fanciful, Yeah. I can describe all of them. They said, Kyle's the artist. Who is it? Hal is he's just like, he does what he does to get the job done. So that's why he'll do like the anvil or the the punching, or like a scissors or a boxing glove or something like that. Just get the job done. That's Hal. Jon Stewart is the architect. So they say all of his constructs are solid. Right?
Yeah.
Kilowog, they say his ring is the only one that makes noise. Because it sounds like, the world's coming to an end. Because he shoots it like it's a fucking laser. Which, fair enough, right? Like,
honestly, I'd be more concerned if your ring doesn't make noise when you use it. Because That's just unnerving. It's like, how do you know anything is happening?
Well, when they say make noise, they might make a little like that. We're talking about when Kilowoggs does it. It's like a cannon going off. That's what they mean by make noise. Yeah.
I think you'd make a fine American.
Yeah. Kilowog, an alien from space, would be the greatest American hero. He should run for president. The idiot killed son's interest in the Flash for a year. It took rereading Rebirth in season 1 and 3 and season 5 to get his interest back into it. Oh, that's it. Oh, and since I still hope they follow with the original idea of Lethal Weapon in space. I would get behind that. A Green Lantern Corps Lethal Weapon in space. I could do that. John Stewart, Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, or even the 2 new ones. We don't just keep it basic. Keep it basic. I can see they can make John Stewart like the older, like the more seasoned Lantern, and he has to deal with like these 2 rookies like Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner, and he's just like even saying it's like I was 2 weeks from retirement kind of thing.
Yeah, even in Justice League, John Stewart always came off as like a beat cop.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of because
like
he wasn't
doing this way too long.
Because he was a soldier, that was one of his origins. He was an actual soldier, so. In one of the older comics, Green Lantern Mosaic, I used to collect that. They talk about why they use boxing gloves, batting rams, and such. It's because they could. I don't know if there's more to it than that, but
I know. I'm like, is that the end?
That's just a good way to end it. It's like
because they could.
Like,
well, okay then.
It's like,
that means that somewhere out there's somebody with a perverse mind with his Green Lantern ring, and he's smashing shit with. Well, let your imagination fill in the blanks.
Now here's what gets me right. The one thing that bugs me about the DC EU. And Neil Ernst said that was it, just because they could. Okay, but the thing that bothers me about the DCEU, those movies, was honestly the first Superman movie just fucking ruined everything for me, right?
Yeah, it really did.
If you were telling me a story about a character that had Superman's powers but was not Superman, and this had nothing to do with Superman, and this is just a character that we just, has very similar powers, but we're telling a different story, I could get behind that. But you called it Superman, right?
Yeah.
And
I know that's how I felt about it, yeah.
Do not get me started on his, Clark's father telling him not to save his life.
Oh my God.
That still to this day pisses me off.
Clark literally could have just inhaled deeply and blew the tornado away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's stupid.
I like Xavier, you ever hear how Kappa puts it? Kappa has the best rendition of this. Clark, my invincible son, whatever you do not save my life. And plus, it was like it was antithetical to everything that Jonathan Kent was, right?
Yeah.
He would not be telling Clark, "Oh, don't help people, because you're going to get caught."
Yeah.
He would be telling them, if Clark was saying like, "Dad, I want to help these people, but I don't know how," and keep it a secret, and he would be trying to help him figure out how he could do it while keeping it a secret.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the figure that sits there and gives him the message that, some people have a purpose in life. You have all these gifts. Maybe your purpose is to use these gifts to help people.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to figure out how to do it. And that sends him on his quest of figuring out how best to help people. And then he goes on his walkabout where he's fucking just helping people randomly while just going from place to place.
Yeah.
That would have been fine.
In Smallville, Clark's dad never wanted Clark to not help people. Exactly. Clark's dad never wanted Clark to not help people. I mean, come on. When you're being raised by, Bo Duke. I mean, come on.
Also, remember that his first costume was made by his mom.
Yep. Yeah, that's another thing that bothers me. This whole Kryptonian armor that DC and then these movies
God,
did. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like the whole thing is stupid because the idea of Superman's powers is that he's literally got he's got an aura around him that hugs his skin. Right?
Yeah.
And wearing something skin tight like his costume is the reason why most of the time his costume doesn't get hurt. The only time it gets hurt is when that aura is getting actually penetrated because he's losing power.
Yeah. And that's how you know that he's getting mussed up, as if his outfit's getting mussed up.
That's why Doomsday got all those good licks on him, because he was fucking him up really good, you know.
But he also can control it. That's how he didn't kill Lois Lane when he nutted.
Whoa.
You guys ever seen Hancock? You know, it's like, you need to get off me before, you know, because boom. Just want to let you know. I actually looked at the ceiling. There was all these holes in the ceiling.
You're Jesus. You can save anyone, but do not save me.
You are a god amongst men, but I've already accepted Jesus Christ as my savior. Don't help me.
Because at that point in the movie, right? I gotta go.
I don't know. I think he would be Superman's version of Uncle Ben since he died.
I got to point back to the movie at this point. You know, the point where he died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Clark has already, you know, everything's out in the open, at least for these people that are here, right?
Yeah.
He's already saved the bus. You know, he's already lifted the bus out of the water, and everybody's like, holy shit, what just happened? Looks at his dad. His dad's literally right over there. Now, remember, he has super speed. He can fly. And like you said, he could probably inhale and divert the path of the tornado. There are a number of ways he could have helped. And Jonathan Kent literally throws his hands up and is like, no.
Goodbye, cruel world.
I think that'd be the one time I'd be like, yeah, fuck off, Dad. I'm saving your life. You know, like, I'm not going to listen to you this time. I'm sorry.
No, this is like New 52 Superman. He's powered down. He's got less power.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he could have still.
This was the Silver Age. He could just go back in time and fix all this shit.
Well, he still could have saved his life, even at New 52 power level. He could have saved his life.
I don't know, man. It seems like bullshit.
Clark,
Oh my God.
Clark, use your big suck and eat the tornado.
Oh, shit!
That's my boy.
But in MOS, Superman couldn't fly around the world in the opposite direction and turn back time. I just said that. There would have been. He didn't need to. He's super speedy. He could just like, shoo, got your dad. You know.
I think D. Fox just sent me that clip from Hancock in the general chat.
Oh, jeez.
Our chat's always on top of things. Always get you what you need. OG Superman could have farted and to beat Tornado. OG Superman literally sneezed and knocked that solar system out of orbit. Yeah. What was really bad when with Silver Age Superman, that he became so overpowered, not even kryptonite affected him at one point. At a certain point.
Jeez.
So he was literally could do anything. So that's why that was really during the period where he really became uninteresting.
Yeah, because they were making up powers for him per issue, and then he would forget he had them or something. Like by the next issue,
I'm gonna use my super mathematician's powers.
That is a real power that he had.
Yep.
List of forgotten Superman powers. Let's do this.
All right.
Let's go down the rabbit hole.
Oh man, he had he could take the little S and like chuck it.
Mm-hmm.
The S from his outfit.
Oh yeah, the cellophane S. Yeah.
Yeah. And he he could make little homunculi of himself.
Mm-hmm.
That was creepy as fuck, and that lasted like an episode, and then
okay,
or an issue or whatever.
I know Kingdom Come Soups is immune to kryptonite too. The reason he's immune to kryptonite in that regard is because he had literally not exerted himself in 20 years. And did nothing but soak up solar energy. So at that point, like it wouldn't even like made him feel sick,
Right.
even a little bit, not
So-
even a cough.
List of powers according to Superman Wiki. Silver and Bronze Age, pre-crisis. Super strength, flight, super speed, vulnerability, vision, hearing, super breath, mental powers, super ventriloquism, super hypnotism,
Now wait a minute.
stamina.
I want to go back on the mental powers. That is just saying he's resistant to being mind controlled. That's
Superman possesses genius-level intelligence and a photographic memory. These enhanced mental capabilities were a direct result of exposure to a yellow sun, as evidenced by the depiction of Krypto, the superdog. Under a yellow sun, Krypto's intelligence was boosted to that of a human. Superman also possesses the mental ability to screen out the enormous amount of information received by his enhanced senses and to focus on a single detail, such as a particular voice or location, as well. His speed reading abilities were much like that of the Flash. He was able to absorb large amounts of information quickly, whether it entered his short-term or long-term memory is hazy. Under a yellow sun, a Kryptonian gains the ability to speak and understand all languages.
For some reason. Just because.
He has a healing factor.
Of course.
The memory wipe kiss.
Oh, God, I almost forgot about that.
Oh, Yellow
The
Lantern.
Kryptonian image.
Yellow Lantern made a good point. Super ventriloquism. Can you use that to make others throw their voice?
Superman could throw his voice across great distances. The power was used to confuse enemies or protect his secret identity by tricking others into believing that he or Clark Kent was in a different location.
All right, continue with the powers, please.
All right, memory wipe kiss. Superman could wipe people's memories by simply kissing them. This ability was first demonstrated in Action Comics 306. Other powers. Writers of Superman would occasionally experiment with new powers to the character. In general, the abilities that proved popular and useful became part of his regular repertoire. Others would be discarded after a single use. Post-crisis, power reduction, tactile telekinesis. An attempt was made to explain Superman's ability to fly with large objects through the introduction of tactile telekinesis. Objects that Superman touched were enveloped by an invisible telekinetic field that allowed him to move them with the force of his will. He's not strong. He's just magic. Okay. The ability also explains Superman's ability to fly. The power was the only ability originally duplicated by the Superboy clone, allowing him to emulate Superman's strength, speed, and flight capabilities, but none of his sensory powers. Over time, Superboy, or Khan-El, as he came to be known, would eventually develop the same set of powers.
Well, they call him Connor in the books. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't have any of his goofy powers.
The tactile
Good,
telekinesis, I do know. I remember Superboy having that because he had to emphasize that for him because he didn't have much of the other powers, and he knew how to use that. Basically, he could use that to like break shit pretty good.
Yeah, but
you know,
but there's also like a weird
Break shit good.
But there's also a weird fucking Kryptonian kung fu that's literally about fighting mental battles.
Oh yeah. I read about that. Yeah, it's like Joe Tari or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
Let me continue with this article. We kind of went off on a tangent.
Yeah, we.
I'm going to skip out this one, and that is where DC proper is in danger. Comic sales are lows and small chunks of business as it is. On the publishing side, they rely heavily on reprints and relaunches, and it's the older books from 30 to 40 years ago that are doing better in the marketplace. Readers aren't hungry for the new stuff, a fact that led publisher Dan Didio admitting the company's failure. We do these facsimile editions where we reprint older issues of comics, including all of the old ads and stuff. And in some cases, these are selling more than new comics with these characters. People are more interested in buying stories from 30 or 40 years ago than the contemporary stories. You know why? Because they were good.
Right?
They
weren't written specifically to insult their audience.
I mean, you're looking at, let's say, 30 to 40 years ago, that was the 80s.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of when, stories were still good and not terrible. One guy less optimistic DC will turn around is Rob Liefeld. And trust me, Rob knows failure. Rob has seen failure many times in his life, so he knows failure. And he still fails to draw feet. So
I found another list here, and it says Superman is a shapeshifter.
Oh my god. Probably.
Let's see.
He was everything.
In 1947, Superman 44, written by Bill Finger. Superman needed to impersonate a famous stuntman who worried he would be recognized. Superman used his super muscular control to change his face and perfectly copy the stuntman. However, in Superman 45, he topped himself by molding his entire body to look like an interdimensional warrior and escape from a cage.
Wow.
Phase through objects.
And here I thought the weirdest thing he did was become a local witch doctor and marry Jimmy Olsen to a gorilla. I mean,
Right? Oh my god.
Telekinetic vision. This power came up more in the Silver Age, but there was also
your mind. I can move
power
the
came
objects
up-
with my eyes.
Most comic fans know one of Superman's weaknesses is that he doesn't hold up too well against psychic powers, except when he does. But don't know that he had psychic abilities of his own. The power came up more in the Silver Age, but there was also a notable moment in the 1987 movie Superman 4, where he was fighting fucking Nuclear Man. They're battling around the world. Remember when he fucking rebuilt the wall of China by looking at it real hard?
Yeah.
That's it.
Did y'all watch on AVGN on Cinemassacre? They do that rental reviews thing now, and they did they talked about that, and apparently there were actually 2 nuclear men in that movie originally. Did you know that? The first nuclear man was like not as impressive as the one we saw, in the movie. He had he was super strong. He kind of more like a Frankenstein, Like he could give Superman a little bit of a fight, but in the end, it was like really no challenge. You know what I mean?
Right.
And also, the reason why they did that, they said originally Superman was supposed to take and like they were supposed to show him zipping around the wall, like putting all the bricks back together. Mm-hmm. It said, but instead of that, they said because of budget reasons, what they did is like when they showed the footage of the bricks falling down, they just reversed it.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay. The description alone means I have to read this power. Shoot mini Supermen.
That's the homunculi one.
Now we're getting to one of Superman's most bizarre and
Yeah.
obscure powers. So it's going to take some time explaining. In Superman 125 from 1958, Superman was investigating a crashed spaceship when it exploded in his face. I hate when that happens.
Right?
Afterwards, Superman discovered he lost all of his powers except invulnerability and one little twist. Instead of using all of his powers himself, Superman could shoot out tiny versions of himself who was empowered with all his missing abilities.
Yes.
The mini-me version of Superman could fly, had super strength, and all his other powers, but with the extra power of cuteness. When danger struck, Superman was forced to send out his doppelganger to save the day. The best part is that Superman ended up getting jealous of how much more popular
Yes.
his
mini-me's were. Yes.
and destroyed it by sending it after a kryptonite meteor shower. What an asshole!
Well,
that's the other thing, man.
this was
Old
when
school
Superman
was like
that's when he
nuts.
was a huge dick. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Super weaving.
Super weaving.
Oh my god.
Let's see. It's all part of Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 15, where we're led to believe Superman is finally marrying Lois Lane, only to find out, in true Silver Age fashion, that it's actually a doppelganger that has fallen in love with someone that looks identical to Lois. But none of that tomfoolery changes the fact that Superman out there somewhere has the oddly specific ability to make your dream wedding a reality. Let's see. How to properly prepare. He doesn't know. Somebody doesn't know how to prepare silken threading and convert it all into a gown. So Superman did it in like a fucking instant.
Didn't
Super
Dragon Ball
mathematics.
Z do the same thing? I mean, the only thing I could think of Dragon Ball Z was it the Super Ghost Kamikaze attack.
Yeah. Super eating.
Well, Boo did that when Fat Boo first reformed. He made a bunch of little ones and like reformed into big one.
Yeah.
With a metabolism like Superman's, it goes without saying that he could throw back a few burgers. What is a normal person's recommended daily calorie intake? 2,000. Well, Superman's is in the millions. Luckily for him, his super endurance and the natural nourishment provided him by our sun means he actually doesn't have to eat, drink, or sleep ever. Though when those supplies of yellow rays diminish, watch out. Superman will eat your fucking arm and bone and all. A frightening thought for sure, but it's nice to see the man of Krypton now and again fully embracing the American way, 1 pound at a time. To get an idea of what Superman's uncanny appetite and endless ability to chow down looks like, check out Action Comics 454. When all the planet's solar energy mysteriously disappears, the Man of Steel finds himself in a constant state of malaise. So what does he do? Order every piece of meat on the planet and go to it. His current record is 60 burgers a minute.
Jesus.
You know,
Super dancing.
hold on. Okay, stop with the powers, because
Super dancing.
there was
Yeah, we're still way off track though.
but I gotta mention something. When you talked about the mini Supermen, did y'all ever watch the Brack Show?
Yes.
Yeah.
You remember their neighbor Thundercleese?
Yeah.
You remember when Thundercleese got replaced by Thundercleese 2.0? And it was just a mini
Yeah.
version of Thundercleese?
Yeah.
And the reason I think about that, because there's just a mini version of Thundercleese, and he was just on the desk, like, constantly posing, like, ha, hoo, hoo, ha, ha. And I'm just imagining little mini Superman, like, doing that, like, ha, hoo, ha, ha. And what's funny is,
Cute.
they sent Thundercleese 2.0 after a meteor, and he got destroyed because he was too small.
Maybe they did that on purpose.
and they had to like rearm the real Thundercleese because. I'm sorry, I always said Thundercleese needed his own show because I just love the extreme, the extremeness of his attitude.
Okay. Oh, yeah! Here's one that doesn't make sense. Retrocognition, a.k.a. super imagination.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Super baking.
Super autism.
Super broadcasting.
No, that's you, Piper. You got the super.
Super makeup. Super time travel. Super memory. Super landscaping. Super hunch.
Oh my god.
So wait, who needs Batman? Because fucking Superman has one of his super hunches.
Super hunch.
Gonna follow a hunch here. See.
Fucking retrocognition. It sounds like hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was super hindsight. I thought that's what that was supposed to be.
Superman's vision is. Think Superman's vision is only limited to reality. Think again. In Superman 127 in 1959, mild-mannered monkey gets turned into Titano, a giant ape who shoots kryptonite lasers from his eyes. Because why wouldn't it? This ends up being a mild inconvenience for Superman, so he fashions a massive pair of lead sunglasses for Titano to wear. Then super speed hurls him back through time to the prehistoric past. Done and done. So as to reassure Lois this was the right move, Superman takes a gander across time using his telescopic vision to see Titano about to get eaten alive by dinosaurs. That's right, Superman has the super capability to see into the past, or does he? Bizarrely, when compiling this story about a giant talking ape with kryptonite vision, the Superman Annual #2, DC's editors felt having Superman look through time was just a little much.
Oh, that's where things went too far.
Oh, that's where they draw the line then.
And made a last-minute change to their final panel. So instead of telescopic vision, now we get a far more confusing super imagination.
Wow.
Telescopic vision that looks into the past is just way too much, guys. We need to come up with another idea. Hey, how about we just give him a super imagination? Jerry, that's great. That's fucking awesome.
You mean super lie? He's like, but is that really a good choice? I'm seeing him now, Lois, and he's fine. He's loving it. Look, and he's there with last season's winners. There's Whitman, Price, and Haddad. Their debt to society paid in full.
I just like the idea to stop Titano's kryptonite vision is to basically Cyclops him.
Yeah.
Put some lenses on him so he can't do it anymore. Okay.
Giant kryptonite Ray-Bans.
Yeah. Anti-kryptonite Ray-Bans. Get it right. Remember, he's, I like how you said also it's a minor annoyance this monkey had. Had fucking kryptonite lasers coming out of his eyes. It sounds like that would be a very bad day for Superman. So So who wants to hear Rob Liefeld's quote about DC?
Please, I need something to
Cleanse the palate.
chase the Superman list. Yeah.
He said, "Ain't never seen a company in as much disarray as DC Comics. Thank God they have Batman to act as their Tylenol, aspirin, laughing gas. More Batman will fix it."
He's not wrong, but you can't depend on the Bat family for everything. Eventually, you're going to reach the point.
You're seeing an antithesis here, right? So you got DC, who's relying too much on one character, right? And you got Marvel, who's not relying on any of their core characters.
Yeah, they're just all over the damn place.
Yeah, so it's like you're seeing a real antithesis here. Marvel thinks if they produce more books, that means that they'll have better sales. Whereas DC is trying to produce less books, but all those books star Batman, so who cares? Right?
Well, Marvel's problem is also their unwillingness to admit that maybe getting somebody who matches the identity of this character to write this character is not a way to write a profitable book.
Yeah, but you wonder why Christopher Priest resents that.
Yeah.
I always like the story he tells about when he said DC called him and they said we want you to do Cyborg. And he says and he asked, is Cyborg black? And they went yes. He said no, thank you.
Yeah.
And they called him back and they said we want you to do Deathstroke. He said, is Deathstroke black? They said no. And he said, all right, I'll do it. Speaking of Marvel, let's read this one. Close out.
Wait, hold on. I am going to play this for the apparent death of DC, okay?
All right.
Attention! Present arms!
Bye-bye, DC.
Order arms!
Wait, I got something to play for DC. Here we go. You had a good run, DC, but it's over. Do something more than Batman. All right, so let's read this. As Nick Mercado would say, "What's this?" Here's a novel idea, guys. You ready for this one? Providing good customer service might help you sell more books.
Uh-oh.
Well, they're fucked.
Thank you, Nick. Former Marvel Comics editor Tom Brennan provides lesson on customer service. Don't lecture and condescend your customers.
You don't say. Hold up. You mean to tell me?
Good transition. Former Marvel Comics and Valiant Comics editor Tom Brennan provided a lesson in customer service after a number of subscribers to the New York Times indicated they would cancel their subscriptions. Brennan took to Twitter to state, "It is their right as customers to turn away. You want them to come back? Don't lecture them. Don't condescend to them. Don't tut-tut on what you see as a lack of understanding. Do better. That's what you owe them."
Holy shit.
I mean, granted, he was talking about the New York Times, but it applies to everything, you know?
Wait. He's talking about the New York Times?
Yeah, because New York Times, they did this whole thing where they had this, how'd it go? They had this headline that said Trump, it was like Trump says something versus racism, right? Basically,
oh yeah, and then they fucking changed it.
And then you know the Democrat overlord said, "What are you doing? You're on our side." They were like, "Oh yeah, you're right," and they went and changed it to make Trump look like more of an asshole.
Look bad, even though he said something good. Oh my god! So he's telling them this.
Yeah, I guarantee. See, the thing is, that's what's so bad about this right now, guys. It's what's so fucked up about this. It's eventually going to come where Trump is clearly not a white supremacist, right? Clearly.
Yeah,
he's going to get to a point where he denounces it so much that the media is going to become white supremacist in reaction.
It's already started.
Yes, it's starting already.
I mean,
fuck.
You know, you got your Antifa brown shirts. You know, most of the Democrats are, you know, they're not outright saying they want the annihilation of Israel, but they're so very close.
Point of personal privilege. We don't like to use the word annihilation in our language.
mean,
Point of personal privilege.
All right, so
Democratic socialist.
say it to a different company, but
Democratic
isn't smart to
socialist.
implement
Fuck
it
off.
itself.
Anyway.
I want somebody to nut up at like a press conference and tell Elon Omar, I just want you to say the Jews have a right to exist. You don't even have to mean it. You could totally lie to me. I just want to hear you say it.
Yeah.
And watch her struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Anyway, before he got to that crucial lesson, Brennan would detail that it's perfectly fine for individuals to cancel their New York Times subscriptions because there are plenty of other outlets that offer journalism. Something similar could be said.
Sorry.
I mean, the fact that you had to specify that they offer journalism.
Offer journalism. I guess you could, if that's what you want to call it, I guess.
I think he's in the know, but he's not in the know.
Anyway, continuing. Something similar could be said that comic book fans can definitely find alternatives to DC Comics and Marvel Comics if they don't shape up their own practices.
Oh, okay. So
I see pushback against those
self-aware.
canceling their New York Times subscriptions has begun. And as I expected, it's the quote, it's more irresponsible to cancel your subscription when you need journalism. Take that's being pushed, and that infuriates me. Yes, we need journalism.
Wow.
Guess what? There are plenty of other outlets. Canceling a Times subscription isn't canceling journalism, and the fact that they'd argue otherwise is the whole problem. The Times building is not an infallible tower of righteousness. It's a business, and it's not even the most important business on that street. The Port Authority is. Port Authority. I don't think journalism should be for profit, but it is. And the Times headline was one of the most egregious examples of bad journalism I've seen. Even the New York Post did better than this. The Post. Brennan would then detail what he had learned as a comic book editor. Readers vote with their dollars, he added. That's how they express how they feel. That's the only way to measure how they truly feel about your work. I am no journalist. I'm just an armchair commentator. But I worked in comic book publishing for a decade, and they drilled into our heads. Readers vote with their dollars. That's how they express how they feel. That's the only measure of how they truly feel about your work. I like this guy. Bring him back.
Yeah. Holy crap, man. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get him to talk to us. You know?
We got a smart one.
Yeah.
Also,
man.
follow him and keep an eye on him in case something bad comes out about him in the next week that probably isn't real.
Yeah.
They're going to attack him because you can't have a voice of reason in this.
Oh, no.
That's impossible.
That's true.
And this is I guess is the author of pontificating here. While I certainly agree his sentiment that the readers vote with their dollars, it's hardly the only way they can express how they feel, and it's definitely not the only way to measure how they truly feel about your work. Consumption does not equate feelings. Fans can express themselves in all manners of from creating petitions, writing blogs, taking to social media, calling the company, etc. There are a lot of ways for them to express their opinions. However, Brendan is right when he states readers vote with their dollars. If folks aren't purchasing your product, you might find yourself looking for a new line of work very quickly. Yes. That is exactly right, and I got no problem. Everybody has a right to voice their opinion, right?
Yeah.
But if you continue to voice your opinion and you continue to buy crap,
then
what are you doing?
Not really backing up what you're saying there. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing? If you don't like something, get your money back, or whatever, or don't buy it.
Stop buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't keep feeding the beast that you claim to hate. Man, I'm really hating this lion that's in my backyard. I don't know why I keep throwing this meat out there for him, though. I wish this lion would just fucking leave. I don't know why this lion isn't leaving. I just keep throwing all this red meat out there for no reason, but he just won't leave. Can you tell me why he won't leave, Xavier? Why won't this fucking lion leave, man? I just keep throwing his meat out here for him, though.
Did you ever think that maybe the lion was there first? Maybe you're on his land. He's wondering why you won't fucking
leave.
leave.
If we want to describe these kind of people properly, it's more like I keep yelling at it to stop being a lion, but there it is, still being a lion.
I think I can make it even simpler, like old man yells at cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cloud was asking for it.
The cloud is harassing me.
Yep. Brendan continued, it takes time and money to read the news, and those are two things you can't get back. Readers have every right to cancel subscriptions. It's not foolish. It's not irresponsible. And hell, even if you disagree with them, it's not worthy of condemnation. That's true. And,
yeah, I mean,
and gets us to the
I
point
don't
where,
want people with money reading my books.
right?
People with money are all racist and homophobic, and that's not what my book is for. I don't want you in my audience.
And then you know,
Later.
a few months later, my book flopped because racism.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm gonna. It's funny you mentioned that because I wasn't gonna bring this up, but I might as well. There was a situation over the weekend where a certain writer for Marvel Comics was denigrating a guy because all he said, he went over this thing, you know, because the guy, really, Donny Cates was being condescending, right? And I think anybody would agree with, because somebody asked him, how did you go from being an intern to a writer at Marvel, right? And his answer was, I wrote more.
Wow.
Well,
I don't understand why people are recently acting like they just discovered he's an asshole. Like, how did I know that the whole time and everybody else is acting like they just figured that out? Like,
well, he's been an ass at least for about 6 months, you know, at least acting like one.
oh man, I thought he was an asshole for. I've considered him an asshole for longer than that.
You would consider a lot of people assholes for longer than whatever.
Well, bro, he's an asshole. Like he's been.
Well,
one
we're
the whole
getting
time.
back to it. Hold on. Let me finish my story. And so he got into it because the guy was talking to. He said like, you know, that's kind of condescending and this and that and the other and blah blah blah. And he goes like, you know, I don't care, blah blah blah. He said you must be one of those. One of those comics gators or something like that. And then the guy said, well, you know, I also like the Bears and I also like this. And he said, and yes, sometimes I do like Ethan Van Sciver. I think he's funny. And then Donnie says, oh, I can't believe you like that homophobe.
Wow.
And then, you know, he kept on going after fans. And I commented that, well, then, honestly, I'm never going to buy, I know I will never buy anything with your name on the book. Ever. Because if this is the level of professionalism that you're going to, you know, put out, then I don't want to have no part of it. And he just went, "Okay, bye."
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why I said, you know, local man hates money.
Yeah, he's super mature, man.
Mm-hmm.
Super mature.
I had Caleb put him in Lucas's room, and I said, Donnie Cates in 4 to 5 years. Because Donnie, I already know you're not eating well. Okay, you work for Marvel, so I know you're not making a lot of money. Okay,
Probably sharing a fucking studio apartment with 4 or 5 other people who are not eating well.
yeah. And let me
2
tell
of them
you,
because they're vegans.
and one of the things I said, you will be. And I said, and, you know, when you're eating out of the garbage in the next few years, think about this day. And he did that whole, you know, that whole tired meme, you know, of Jennifer Lawrence, that okay meme that they try to pull, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, oh look, tired memes. We're at that point now. Good job. And then of course you had the stands coming in like, oh, Donnie Cates is a great guy and stuff like that. And you're just doing this to defend Ethan Van Sciver. I said I literally did not care what he thinks about Ethan. Right?
If he thinks he's an asshole, that's his business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I care what I care what he was saying to people who were like who could potentially be buying his books. You know?
Also, just to rub this in,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he's not eating well. I also write comics, although I don't do so professionally yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed cheeseburger macaroni today, and
Yeah.
it was fantastic.
I also we have just with Xavier have recently started writing comics, and I had a nice pork shoulder tonight for dinner, with some mashed potatoes, and we had some apple turnovers for dessert. I mean, just
We're doing the same thing you do, dude, and this is your fucking job. We're eating better than you. Where have all the colors gone?
I think but Donnie's a writer. Yeah, Donnie's not an artist; he's a writer. Donnie is really he's a low rent Tom King. When you get down to it,
Oh.
yeah. I mean, when you get down
Yeah.
to it,
Oof.
And people say his Venom was good. Well, that's fine, but what's he done for me lately? I mean, it's the same with Tom King. He had a good run X, but what has he done for me lately? Batman has been terrible.
Ugh.
So that's why I had Caleb put Donnie in Lucas's room, and I said Donnie in 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, broken clock, guys.
Yeah.
It's right twice a day.
Yep. Even what's his name? I forgot his name. Even Chuck Austin did one good story.
Sorry.
And then the rest were terrible.
Even Rob Liefeld could draw good characters if you gave him enough time.
Mm-hmm. There is a comment in the chat right now that I really want to comment on, but I'm not going to. Because the person was particularly nice to somebody here, and I don't want to burn that goodwill because I have a very, very strong personal opinion about that person.
But I actually would like to know more about the incident that.
If you would like to explain that more in the chat, you may go ahead. But I can, for now, I will not comment on it. Because let me put it this way. Goodwill only lasts so long. Yeah. And I don't care how fucking thirsty you are. And to get an excuse to draw somebody, nude on the cover of your book. And you think that's impressing me. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to leave it like that. I was looking at the ceiling the whole time I was saying that, by the way, to try to keep perspective.
Whoa.
Way to get thrown out of West Point. You know how to get thrown out of West Point, Xavier? You didn't go. You were Air Force. You wouldn't have gone to West Point.
I didn't go to West Point.
Yeah. God, what is the school for the Air Force? What do they call that?
Air Force Academy.
Yeah, AF Academy. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the fucking cadets. They don't even hold real rank.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to be officers when they get out.
Mm-hmm.
And low level enlisted can push them around.
Yeah. Guys, if you want to know what we're talking about, just scroll up in the chat. I'm not going to go over it again. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go over that again.
You scroll up internal drama, basically.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to go over that shit again because those guys, they have a very skewed perspective on things. I'm going to put it that way and leave it at that.
Yes, I see it now.
So
we had a laugh about that. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now, Piper.
Hey.
Piper.
Yeah.
You saw the cover that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Would you say in her dreams?
Oh. That's not nice.
But it's damn true.
Oh, that was mean. I know. That's why I said it.
Yeah. It may be mean, but it's also the truth. Just convert to live chat if you can't see it. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna say names because it's not important. Tom King's writing is fucking garbage. But yeah, Donnie Cates does have his cult followers, and really the people who were defending Cates were just people who hated Ethan. That's all it was.
Yeah,
right.
That's what it looked like to me.
And also on top of that, how about in 2016 where King was begging Ethan to work with him? We don't want to talk about that though, do we?
No.
Also, isn't Donnie Cates' run on Venom the one where SJWs came at him because he got mad because he wouldn't make Eddie Brock and Venom gay for each other?
Yeah. Okay, guys, seriously.
Oh my god.
Hold on, guys. The guy in the chat, J0074. Look at his words, and that's all I'm going to say about it, and I'm done. That's it. Go ahead. Sorry, Xavier.
I said, wasn't Donnie Cates' run on Venom the one where the SJWs and Tumblrites got mad at him because he wouldn't make Venom and Eddie Brock gay for each other?
Yeah. And then when people who were Comicsgate related, came and defended him, about
he's like,
it.
yeah, he needs to write the book that he wants.
Yeah, and then there's like, well, yeah. He's like, I'm not going to be defended by these assholes. Like,
Wow.
Why isn't anybody reading my book? What happened? People read my book, and now people ain't reading my book. What the fuck happened?
yeah.
Oh shit!
Who's this old man, and why is he yelling at me?
And they certainly do. He also knows that corporations shouldn't lecture, condescend, or tut-tut their customers. What does tut-tut mean? Like, tut-tut?
Like,
Oh.
finger wagging.
I don't know. When I hear tut-tut, I think about Archer. Tut-tut. Tut-tut. What?
But do you not?
Sorry, that was an accident. Okay, that time it wasn't. It's great advice and something people at Marvel Comics like Saladin Ahmed, Alyssa Wong, and others should take to heart. In fact, Marvel Studios employees like Jack Schaefer and Tom Smith could also learn a thing or two from Brennan. I was about to call him Batman. It's not limited to Marvel either. DC Comics writers like Zoe Quinn and
Writers.
yeah, writers.
Asterisk.
Asterisk, mate. Asterisk.
Writers.
And at the bottom, citation needed. And Mark Andreyko could learn quite a bit too. Mark Russell could definitely drink in Brennan's advice after he wrote this page in Harley Quinn 56. Oh, let's see what he says. Catwoman says, Harley, are you okay? Oh, yeah. Thanks for picking up the phone. Let's see. How does this panel flow? I guess it's going side to side. Okay. It's strangely gratifying when someone takes time to hate your work. It's like to cause a ruckus as much as anyone. What I don't understand is why do it for such boring old ideas? I mean, if you're going to be evil, at least make it interesting. Evil, they're not evil. Evil at least has a capacity to change. No, they're worse than evil. They're nostalgic.
Oh my god.
Well, thanks for the helping out, Selena. You bet. Anything else? At you, yeah. I want to chat, and the cat had stolen the wallet. That's not helpful. Brendan would follow that up with an analogy. Wow, first full circle. With an analogy on hiring a plumber. Imagine you hire a plumber. He comes highly recommended, but he shows up late, and not only does he fix your toilet, he clogs it up even more, and then he accidentally breaks your sink. You would hire him again, right? You wouldn't hire him again, right? So yes, it is okay to cancel your New York Times subscription.
Yes.
That'd be like Tug always used that. He uses plumber. I said, would y'all please stop using plumbers? We're good people. But Tug uses an example where he says, imagine the plumber comes to your house to fix your sink, and the whole time he's calling you a Nazi and a bigot and a racist and a homophobe and alt-right,
right?
and all this stuff. Yeah, you're going to hire him again, right?
Yeah, but he's also not fixing your plumbing.
Yeah, but the whole time he's still calling you all that, though.
Yeah.
I'm here for an argument. Oh, well, this is abuse.
Oh yeah.
I first found out about Kate's from your boy Zach. Oh, Robbie Rectum. Yeah, Robbie Rodriguez. I'm just going to take pictures of my butthole and send it to. Can you imagine being that much of a child? That you're going to do the big old got 'em by taking a picture of. Okay, guys, I got a great idea. Okay, I want to own this boomer on the line. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a picture of my own butthole and I'm going to send it to him. That's going to show him. I
get it. I don't get it.
Just sends unsolicited, but I'm surprised people didn't send him unsolicited dick pics back.
We don't know what
He might have
actually happened.
liked it. It could have been like he liked that.
I enjoyed that stuff.
It's like, you're presenting your butthole. You'd be surprised when people show up wanting to indulge.
Are you coming on to me? My God, man, I find that offensive. I'm not hearing a no.
No, Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
Yeah, Mrs. Robinson, show me her butthole. I think she wants some.
Oh yeah!
Insert what the hell is going on here meme. That's Zach didn't say anything bad much about Kate's, but then EVS said Kate said he wanted to work with Eazy-E over here, but turned on him after. Just gross. Yeah. That was such an asshole, and keep. That was such asshole, and keeps his job. Like the asshole literally shows his asshole, and yet he can keep his job. You know.
Right? So dumb. Just.
How's the poll looking right now?
Oh. Take one last look at the poll for tonight. We're at 63 votes. Do a refresh on it real quick.
More people have voted for the bear.
What the?
Yeah. But still only 10 retweets. What the? How can you have 63 votes but only 10 retweets? The instructions are clear. Vote and RT.
I showed you my dick. Why didn't you respond?
I showed you my dick trickle. Answer me. Oh no. Doesn't someone actually tweet EVS a picture of asshole? Yes. Yeah, that was Robbie Rodriguez. He's the one that sent a picture of his butthole to Ethan. 2 pictures, not just 1, 2.
Yeah, not just once.
Yeah, but he didn't say a vertigo long, but you know they're going to give him another fucking job.
Yeah, he didn't actually lose job though. Like most people would normally.
When it should have been it should have been literally when that happened, a call from DC comes down. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But I don't like Ethan. I don't give a fuck if you don't like him. This is how this conversation.
We don't need our fucking employees posting their ass.
Yeah, we don't need somebody who represents the company. I know this is new for you millennials, right? But we don't need somebody who represents our company showing their asshole on fucking Twitter. You're fucking fired. That's the way it should have gone. That's the way that conversation should have happened.
Yeah. That's what I don't get. There's no consequences. You know? No consequences. It was 3 pictures. Yeah, that's what I thought actually. It
doesn't matter. It don't matter if he sent half a picture. It was still his asshole. You know, like. You need to get the whole thing, like that part, and then the next one.
Yeah, I need to look for it specifically instead of taking it off of a bigger soundboard. I think that'll be when I do next, because it's even better with the rest
Xavier
of it.
showed me the whole clip, and he's like diddle, and then like
yeah, and then he just eventually just says yeah, the stream broke for everyone, including me. I'm gonna try to refresh it.
Yeah.
Oh, what you're doing now? I
Still
got
showing live on my end. So.
Where is it?
The stream got shut down to the butt beast. Yeah, it's not coming back for me.
I mean,
There's only 5 people watching now. It's gone.
It's 11 people, according to mine.
Now, see, mine's just gone down to 4.
You're probably refreshing too. What are you doing, Xavier?
I am sitting here trying to find. I found a 9-volt hot take, and I'm trying to find it again. Fucking feed did that thing where it jumps all of a sudden, and then it.
Oh, I hate that shit. Yeah, it says we're down to 3, and nobody can see it.
Everybody's saying F5. They're saying F5, F5.
9-volt said that game reviews are not product reviews.
I thought he said that a long time ago.
They are though.
He might have. I popped up in my feed. Somebody shitting on him for it.
Oh, they should.
Nice. Yeah, it was fucking stupid.
All right, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna do an outro because it's still recording, so it will get uploaded.
Oh, okay.
So
Hey, no worries, we're cool.
yeah. So anyway, guys, we'll see you. I don't know, probably Thursday. If my computer parts arrive tomorrow, I'll be working on that all day. So if by some miracle I do get it all working in one piece by tomorrow night, we will do a stream. But if not, we'll see you Thursday. Y'all have a good one and take care.
Hold on. I'm going to play this for the stream.
All
And
right.
a new episode of Degarudo is up either Friday or Monday.
Friday or Monday for the new show of the what's it called again?
Degarudo.
Degaruda. Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye.